Hey guys! Hey! Welcome back to another video. This time I'm back to review another Sony Pictures animation movie. Yes, I'm back to review another Sony Pictures animated movie. This time I'm going to be looking at Peter Rabbit. Apparently they made two movies of this, so after this one I'll be reviewing the second movie down the road. But you guys know the drill. If you guys haven't already, remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. That way you guys can stay up to videos and all that. And, my goal is to get to 1K subs in the future, so doing this will really help me out a lot. But, anywho, I really don't have a lot else to say, so let's go ahead and just get into this. So this is Peter Rabbit. Now, I don't know much about Peter Rabbit, to be honest. I don't know. I know there's, Peter Cottontail, the Easter Bunny song, but I don't know much about Peter Rabbit. I do know that on Nick Jr., there's actually a Peter Rabbit, show. This one's supposed to be live action, but for some reason it's on Sony, so I'm guessing maybe it's like Garfield, where they kind of spread their stuff all over the place or something, because Garfield had, live action movies on Fox. Yeah, they had some movies on Fox, while the rest of them came out, it came out in, other, studios. Heck, there's even a Garfield movie that's coming out, if it's not already out. I'm not sure if it's out yet or not, but there's one coming out for Sony, here pretty soon. So Garfield, has been under a bunch of other studios. So seeing this is not very shocking to me, but it's still kind of weird seeing these properties and all that on different platforms. But I guess it's nice to see, other studios tackle this stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm not very familiar with, Peter Rabbit, so I don't really have, I don't know a lot about, the franchise and all that, but I have seen this movie, and I'm here to tell you guys about this movie. This movie, honestly, is, basically, this movie is this movie is actually, believe it or not, it's about, actually, it's typical, live action movie and all that thing, where, we had they create, the characters and all that, and, from 2D or, CGI and turn them into live action stuff. And, basically they do that, and they basically, they do that, to make it fit in with the live action, stuff, and, they do things like that. But this movie is basically about Peter Rabbit, trying to get, his vegetables and all that to help feed his family and all that, because his mom and dad, passed away, so he has to feed his sisters and all that, and I'm gonna say it right here, you guys are probably not gonna be happy with me on this, but this movie is not good. It is not good at all. Yes, I know. But let me explain. I know a lot of people like this movie. I've seen, reviews on it and all that. But honestly, I'm not really a big fan of this movie. This movie freaking sucks. It sucks bad. This movie is freaking awful. So, what ends up happening, we have, you have, typical rabbits and animals, getting into food and all that, which, I get, they're trying to eat, because they need to eat food, and all that, but the way the characters are, they're freaking just awful, they're awful. They have this, old guy who apparently, I guess he died, by the way, he died kind of creepy. I mean, he had a stroke and he died with his eyes open, trying to catch Peter Rabbit. But yeah, he died from a stroke. Which honestly, I was not expecting that, honestly, like, I mean, I've seen this movie in the past. I don't know if I ever finished it, but I've seen it in the past. I was like, I don't remember the old guy, and all that, but I was thinking maybe he has something to do with his son or something. Apparently it's not his son, but his nephew, his great nephew, who takes over his house because he passes away, so he inherits a house with a garden. But the thing is, though, is these rabbits are constantly stealing, food and all. They're basically trespassing in someone's property, literally taking people's food, not giving two shits about it, I'm like, these are supposed to be characters we're supposed to be, watching and liking, But apparently that's all they do. They sabotage, this guy's, stuff. They beat him up and torture the guy. Yeah, they freaking torture him. I remember that part of the movie, but I didn't remember much else about it when I watched it the first time. Like I said, I don't know if I finished the movie or not, but I do remember that part. I think I was watching it and kind of stopped because I was seeing kind of what they were doing there and all that, and yeah, I'm glad I did in the past, because, yeah, this movie is just freaking awful. It's just awful. It's awful because Peter Rabbit and his family are freaking stealing, crap from, the yard and all that. They freaking torture, the old guy, the great uncle, and then they torture, they torture the nephew and all that. I really hate that. I mean, they're not even doing anything while they're just protecting their freaking crops. Now you could argue that technically, the nephew didn't do anything, but I keep calling him a grandpa. He's not a grandpa. He's an uncle. The uncle guy, he basically killed Peter's parents and all that. But honestly, I can't even decide if I feel bad for him or not, because technically, Peter Rabbit's parents were also like Peter. Basically, they were freaking just stealing people's food and all that, they're just stealing people's food and all that, and it just goes constantly back and forth with, it's like a freaking Tom and Jerry, movie, done with Peter Rabbit is what it is. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, I can't really say much, but I don't think I remember, like, watching Tom and Jerry and kind of feeling bad for Tom. But of course, I gotta, watch the whole show again. But maybe I might review it down the road. I haven't done that, because I just haven't had the time. But I have it on DVD, I just haven't watched the episodes in so long. I haven't. I mean, I've seen the movie where they talk and all that, there's a movie like that, but I haven't seen the cartoons and all that in a long time, so. But yeah, I don't know, but I mean, but I think, at least with Tom and Jerry, they try to make it funny. They make it, funny and enjoyable, even if, a lot of times you feel bad for Tom. This movie doesn't do anything like that. Heck, like I said, Peter Rabbit is clearly the villain here. He's the villain. He is the villain of this movie. He basically goes in and and tortures this poor guy and all that, and I just feel bad for him. Oh, and what makes matters worse is apparently there's also, this gal here. And I swear the way they wrote her character, it's like they wrote her like a freaking 5-year-old. I'm not kidding. The way she says, I'm glad that mean grumpy old man is gone, and then calling his nephew an idiot and all that. It's the way. I mean, it's hard to kind of explain it, but if you watch the movie, you can totally see her. The way she's freaking talking, it's just fucking annoying. It really is. It's annoying. And if it's not bad enough, apparently, they try to do this whole freaking romance thing with him, where he's constantly trying to hide, his frustration from the Peter because he's technically abusing, the rabbit, but that's because, the rabbit, is starting shit with him and all that, but basically, yeah, so, yeah, he's constantly flirting with her, they're hanging out and all that, and of course, we have to have, the freaking moment where, he ends up destroying her house and all that, and she loses everything, and she's mad at him, and he's trying to explain that it was the bunnies and all that, and she's apparently a person that doesn't like harming animals, which, I get that, if you don't mind that, but you don't need to be a selfish bitch, and, and just let freaking these animals, steal people's crops either. I'm not a farmer myself, but I can totally sympathize with the old guy and the old guy and the nephew, but yeah, it's just kind of annoying, and Peter finally realizes what he did was wrong, because, I guess because it's his fault. It's his fault that, that they destroyed, the house. Yeah, it's his fault that, he destroyed that gal's house and all that, but he feels guilty about it. But I'm like, you spent the entire movie freaking attacking and abusing this guy and all that, who inherit the house, and now you're freaking fine, you're upset about it. I'm like, that's just freaking, I'm like, I don't know, I just feel, I just feel bad for the guy, Like I said, he was trying to, protect his crops. He wasn't, they just kept breaking in there and all that, so, yeah, they finally do come up, they finally do make an agreement. Also, apparently, Peter Rabbit can, talk to humans in this movie. They reveal it at the last minute out of nowhere, and I'm like, why the hell do they freaking spend, most of the movie not talking to humans, They could have talked to that gal and all that easily, They could have told, if they could talk to humans, like, why didn't he and his family, and friends all talk to the gal and all that, the gal in that, that gal, in the movie, at the, beginning of the movie, explaining, all the stuff that was going on. I don't know, the whole thing, like I said, the whole movie is just a freaking mess, and I really don't like it. This movie is getting bad, and it's getting 9 points. Yes, 9 points. Yeah, this movie is definitely a really bad one. Like, I don't want to say, I shouldn't, I don't mean to sound like a critic here, but, I really don't understand why people like this movie so much. Maybe I'm missing something, but I really don't like it. I really can't find anything to like about it. It's just awful. To be fair, I guess technically I like the Smurfs movie. Yeah, I didn't think it was great. I thought it was okay, but the Smurfs movie did stuff way better than this. Like, they did way better. In my opinion, at least. This movie actually has nothing going for it. Like, I don't care about this movie. And I'm really hoping that the sequel is much better than this piece of crap. I don't want another open season, mess where we have, like, bad movies left and right, I'm hoping they actually learn from, this movie, unlike open season, and actually fix the stuff instead of making the problems worse. But yeah, this movie is definitely awful. I definitely would not recommend watching it again. Well, I wouldn't, I wouldn't watch it again. I shouldn't say recommending. If you guys like the movie, that's fine, but I really can't see what people like about it. I really can't. But yeah, I think it's about time to really let things go. This video is short, but there really isn't a lot to talk about in this movie. There's not a lot to talk about. It's mostly just, it's the same thing over and over again. Like I said, it's a Tom and Jerry, knockoff thing, where we have, the main character trying to protect himself and all that, and it's just annoying. They do it really bad here, and I definitely don't like the romance, stuff. I mean, heck, Ice Age 2 did this way better than this. I mean, Ice Age 2 at least, had moments where they actually were showing feelings with Manny and Ellie. Which, by the way, you guys can check out my review on that. It's in the Blue Sky Studios reviews. But yeah, I just, like I said, I just don't, I mean, I really don't like the romance in this movie either. It's all bad. Like, it is really bad. Like, I don't know what's worse, the romance in this movie or the freaking romance stuff in, Open Season. I mean, they're both pretty bad. Well, I guess technically I would say Open Season, is, technically worse because, at least, with this movie, at least they're bonding and all that. Like, Elliot in the Open Season movies technically was just being a total, selfish, punk to his, his girlfriend, slash wife, so, yeah, because they did get married, but yeah, I don't know, but, yeah, I'm gonna definitely pass on this movie. I don't ever want to watch this movie again, like, this movie is just bad, like, it is just awful, like, it has, like, really nothing going for it. But, yeah, I don't know, I think I'm pretty much about done here. Like I said, this video is kind of short, I just don't have a lot to add. I will say this, though, well, I'm going to say two things before I let this go, in case I forget to say this in my DreamWorks movie review. I want to say it there, too, but if I forget, I just don't want you guys to be, upset. But I want to let you guys know that, like, things are going to get crazy in June. They're going to get really crazy, because in June, I'm going to be going, well, my dad's going to be getting surgery and all that. I'm going to be kind of helping him out and whatnot, because he's going to be home and all that, and a lot of times when he stays home, he likes to, just, stay up and all that, so I might be inside helping him out. So I won't probably be able to make as many videos, like with movies and all that, because I have to, like, watch these movies. Also, I'm doing this outside, because he's sleeping right now. But like I said, he gets up. I mean, he stays up pretty late and all that, when he's off work. So, and it's gonna be a long time before he recovers. So, yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I'm gonna have to be there to help him out with the, his arm and all that. So, but yeah, but I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and definitely let things go from here, I mean, I'll see you all next time. Anywho, bye-bye.